I'm Megan Fitzpatrick.
Hi, my name is Channing.
My name is Allie Fields.
I'm Michelle Hesterberg.
I actually grew up in New Jersey, and so, I spent a lot of time playing outside. I wanted to come back and fight to protect the special places that I grew up loving.
I grew up in Minneapolis, and growing up, my mom was really involved with local politics and involved in our community, and it was pretty normal for me to go phone bank with her on a Sunday afternoon, that type of thing.
I grew up in a small town along the Mississippi River in Illinois. We knew that the river was really polluted with all sorts of toxic pollution from the industrial farms upstream. But the worst part was that it just felt like it was a fact of life, that this beautiful river that our town was built around was just really polluted. So I came east for school. I went to Yale and studied political science, and it was there that I started to feel like we could actually do something.
I went to college at Amherst College in Western Massachusetts, where I studied economics with a particular focus on environmental policy. We basically know the policies that we need to put in place to clean up our air and our water, to stop the worst effects of global warming, and to protect the places that we love. These policies just aren't happening.
The Environment America Fellowship Program is a crash course in the nuts and bolts of environmental organizing and activism.
As a fellow, you get the chance to participate in all the things that go into planning and running an environmental campaign.
One of the tactics that I'm always using in my job is working with the media. We work to get opinion pieces or letters to the editor published in local papers, or to get quoted on the evening news or on the radio about the work that we're doing. So in my first year of the fellowship, we were working to stop a really bad bill that was going through the legislature. We called it the Dirty Water Bill. And what this bill meant was that we would open up over 300,000 acres of environmentally sensitive areas for development. It would double the amount of pollution that goes to our shore and our waterways across the state. We are one of the most densely populated states, so developers are always looking for the chance to develop more land. They were working overtime to make sure that this bill passed so that they could keep developing wherever they wanted and however they wanted here in New Jersey. And so they had a lot of money and a lot of lobbyists walking the halls of the State House, sitting down and meeting with legislators. I was there walking the halls of the State House too, armed with the facts. So I was passing out fact sheets that had all the information about what this bill would mean for New Jersey's waterways. Unfortunately, our legislature didn't vote the right way, and so the bill got passed, which was a huge blow for New Jersey's waterways. And so what I did was I wanted to make sure that the legislators knew that we were paying attention and that their constituents knew how their legislators voted. And so I worked to get 12 letters to the editor published in papers all across the state. And what I did was I called out the legislators that voted the wrong way and praised those that stuck their neck out and didn't side with developers and instead voted the right way. The day after, I got a call from one of the legislators who wanted to sit down and meet with me, and he didn't sound very happy. And it turns out he wanted to meet with me because he didn't like the fact that I called him out for his dirty water vote. It was really clear by the end of the meeting that although he couldn't take back his vote, he would definitely think twice before voting against what's in the best interest of New Jersey and in our waterways. One of the best parts about this job is that I'm 2 years out of college, but yet I'm going toe-to-toe with some of the most influential people here in the state.
One of the most common tactics that we use as organizers in many of our campaigns is collecting petitions. It's a way for us to mobilize the public and show lawmakers that people care about this issue. Now, right now, I'm working on a campaign to ban plastic bags in Rhode Island. Single-use plastic checkout bags are one of the most common sources of trash found here in coastal cleanups. And when they're in waterways like Narragansett Bay, they threaten wildlife and are accumulating there and could be there for generations to come. The most significant source of opposition on this campaign is the plastics industry. They've been bombarding lawmakers with emails talking about how great plastic bags are, and they even flew up a lobbyist to a town meeting in Barrington, Rhode Island to tout plastic bags. People power is the thing we've got going for us. We know that in Rhode Island, people love Narragansett Bay more than they love plastic bags. And banning plastic bags is a common sense policy. But with lawmakers hearing so much from the plastics industry, we need a way to show them that the people of Rhode Island support banning plastic bags. When we started doing our petition gathering, at first people were generally supportive, but the sentiment we heard was, it's a good idea, but good luck. I don't think it's going to happen. But then by the end of the summer, thousands and thousands of door knocks later, thousands and thousands of petitions later, we were knocking on people's doors and they'd say, I've heard of this, great idea, good luck. In the months following our citizen outreach effort in that summer, a plastic bag ban ordinance started picking up momentum in the town of Barrington. And we were able to use the petitions that we gathered there to show lawmakers in Barrington that, the people of the town were on board with this and that they supported a plastic bag ban there. And the ordinance ended up passing. So we hope to be able to replicate that effort in towns around the state.
So when I started with Environment Minnesota, I began representing Environment Minnesota in our Clean Air Coalition. And so that meant I was attending meetings and working with a number of other organizations to develop a strategy and then go out there and implement that. We're a lot more powerful and we can do a lot more when we're working with a wide variety of groups that are interested and invested in clean air. So we've engaged and mobilized sportsmen who care about mercury pollution, and we've engaged moms who don't want to have to worry about their kids being contaminated by mercury pollution or having more asthma attacks because of the smog in the air. The current leader of the coalition decided to step down, and we were looking for a new leader to step up. I had been involved and done good work with the coalition for a number of months already, so the group turned to me to begin leading the coalition. It was a really incredible opportunity for me to have the chance to lead a statewide coalition with a number of people who were my seniors. It was extremely rewarding. I learned how to lead meetings. I learned how to work with other groups and other organizations. I get to work with other people who are inspiring and are passionate about the same issues that I'm really passionate about.
One of the really important tactics we use in this work is recruiting interns and volunteers. One great example is a campaign we worked on recently to increase Maine's renewable energy through a ballot initiative. We knew the governor wanted to roll back a lot of our clean energy programs, and we also knew that most Mainers want them. We want more clean energy in the state. And so we decided to take it to the voters by collecting the 56,000 signatures that you need to get something as a ballot initiative here in the state of Maine. These campaigns take a long time and take a lot of planning. So we were just a few weeks away from Election Day, so we decided the best way to get the 56,000 signatures from registered voters that we needed to get it on the ballot was to collect the bulk of those on Election Day to get it on the ballot the following year. Obviously, that's a lot of signatures for Environment Maine to do on our own, and so it became really important to recruit interns and volunteers who were going to help us get those signatures. We worked with local colleges to recruit interns, but also we just hopped on the phone and called all of our members and activists. I was calling these people and recruiting them in the first place, but I also ran a series of 6 different trainings getting these people ready to collect signatures both on Election Day and throughout the campaign. And then when it came time for Election Day itself, instead of being the one person collecting signatures, I was driving around to 10 different polling places, coordinating our volunteers through 4 different shifts in the day and collecting their petition signatures when they were done. I was the point person for anyone who had a problem or any volunteer who needed more petitions. I was the person people were calling. We ended up getting about 40 people to come work in the polls here in Cumberland County, and on that day alone we collected 12,000 signatures for the Clean Energy Ballot Initiative. So it was something that we definitely couldn't have done without all of those activists and volunteers. The really cool part of it was that then by getting those people involved and helping them understand what a big difference they made in the process, those people are still involved in work we do today. They went along to keep collecting signatures throughout that campaign. They attended news conferences and events at the State House, and they're attending rallies. They're still some of our most devoted activists.
Another huge tactic that we use is canvassing, or getting out there and talking to people face to face about the issues we're working on and getting them involved. The reason this is so important is because by canvassing and talking to people face to face about our issues, we can build public support. And by building people power, we can put pressure on our decision makers to make the right decisions when it comes to our environment. Last year, I was working in New Brunswick, New Jersey, running Environment New Jersey's Citizen Outreach Office. I was responsible for training and recruiting staff and for teaching them the skills that they'd need to go out there and have real meaningful conversations with people about our issues. Over the course of the summer, we knocked on we're close to 100,000 doors across the state, raised close to $500,000, and signed up thousands of members for Environment New Jersey. One thing that you'll definitely see is coming out of the summer canvas, you'll have learned a whole new set of skills that you can bring to the other parts of your job as a fellow. Being able to have a quick, meaningful, succinct, but compelling conversation is a hugely important skill. Whether it's when you're talking to the media or you're lobbying a legislator, when you're working with other people in the environmental community or with other organizations, in really all different parts of your job as a fellow, you'll see that the skills that you learn on the canvas will make you even more effective.
One of the great things about the Environment America Fellowship is that it does prepare you to stay on and take on more responsibility within the Environment America Federation.
I'm a year and a half into the fellowship program, and my plan for next year is to stay on with Environment Rhode Island as an advocate. Over the course of my fellowship, I've been able to make a big difference and learn a lot, and now is going to be my chance to really build on the skills that I've learned and the relationships that I've built to be able to make even more of an impact, because none of these problems are going to be solved tomorrow or the next day or the next year. We have to be in it for the long haul.
The work that we do, it's hard, it takes time, but you can see an impact. And I can't imagine a different opportunity that would have allowed me to make such a real difference on our environment right away out of college.